Two empty retail stores can tell completely different stories. One represents a failed business. The lights are off, the shelves are gone, and the company that signed the lease may never return. The other is an opportunity. Within weeks, black and orange signs appear. Costumes fill the aisles. Giant animated displays switch on. And a building abandoned by one retailer becomes a spirit Halloween. That contrast explains one of the strangest outcomes in American retail. Party City sold celebrations all year long and disappeared. Spirit Halloween sells for only a fraction of the year and became North America's largest Halloween retailer. The difference was not the product. It was the structure hiding underneath it. Two empty retail stores can tell completely different stories. One is a graveyard. The lights are off. The shelves are gone. And the company that signed the lease may never return. The other is an opportunity. Within weeks, black and orange signs appear. Costumes fill the aisles. Animatronic monsters wake up. And a building abandoned by one retailer becomes a spirit Halloween. That contrast explains one of the strangest outcomes in American retail. Party City sold celebrations all year long, yet its permanent store empire collapsed. Spirit Halloween sells for only a fraction of the year, yet it became America's largest Halloween retailer. The difference was not the product, it was the structure hiding underneath it. For decades, Party City looked like the safer business. It was always there. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, baby showers, New Year's Eve, and Halloween. If an event required balloons, plates, decorations, or costumes, Party City wanted to be the default destination. The company built hundreds of permanent stores and supported them with a large wholesale operation. In 2021, Party City generated roughly $2.17 billion in revenue. From the outside, that looked like scale. But revenue is not the same as resilience. Every permanent store came with obligations that continued whether customers were celebrating or not. Rent, utilities, payroll, insurance, maintenance, inventory, and debt payments. Party City had created a business designed to serve every occasion. It had also created a cost structure that never stopped. The party business is more complicated than it appears. A specialist store must carry thousands of products across colors, themes, ages, holidays, and events. Customers expect the exact balloon, character, number, or shade they need, and they often need it immediately. That creates an inventory trap. Carry too little, and the customer leaves. Carry too much, and cash sits on shelves inside slow-moving products. Then there were balloons. Balloons helped make Party City distinctive because an online competitor could not easily deliver an inflated balloon at the last minute. But that advantage depended on helium, trained employees, and reliable supply. Helium shortages and rising costs damaged one of the services that was supposed to protect the company from e-commerce. Meanwhile, Amazon made selection nearly infinite. Walmart and Target allowed shoppers to add party supplies to a trip they were already making. Party City was no longer competing only against another party store. It was competing against convenience itself. These pressures would have challenged almost any retailer. Debt made them more dangerous. When a company carries heavy debt, management has less time to wait for a strategy to work. Cash that could modernize stores, improve technology, or test new formats must also satisfy lenders and keep the existing system alive. This creates a hidden incentive. Leaders begin choosing what protects the next quarter instead of what repairs the business over the next 5 years. Discounting clears inventory, but weakens margins. Closing stores saves cash, but reduces convenience. Cutting selection improves efficiency, but makes a specialist store less special. Each short-term solution can damage another part of the model. In January 2023, Party City entered Chapter 11 bankruptcy, with roughly $1.7 billion in debt. Its restructuring eliminated nearly $1 billion of that debt. That sounded like a reset. But removing debt does not automatically repair the machine that created it. Party City emerged from bankruptcy with fewer financial obligations, but the operating pressures remained. Customers were cautious. Inflation increased costs. Online platforms and mass retailers still offered convenience. Permanent stores still required money every month, not just during peak celebrations. The company had gained breathing room. It had not gained a fundamentally different business model. About 14 months after emerging from its first bankruptcy, Party City returned to Chapter 11 in December 2024. This time, the goal was not another comeback. The company began winding down its retail and wholesale operations and launched going-out-of-business sales at approximately 700 stores. Most of its roughly 12,000 employees were initially retained to help complete the liquidation. The chain that had tried to be available for every celebration could no longer afford to remain permanently available. And while its corporate-owned stores disappeared, its most visible seasonal rival kept returning. Spirit Halloween began in 1983 with a simple observation. Halloween demand is intense, emotional, and concentrated. The business did not need customers to shop for costumes every month. It needed to be everywhere, at exactly the moment those customers wanted to buy. When Spencer Gifts acquired Spirit in 1999, the chain had approximately 60 seasonal locations. Today, Spirit says it operates more than 1,500 seasonal locations across North America. But these are not 1,500 conventional stores carrying 12 months of fixed obligations. Spirit searches for vacant spaces in malls and strip centers, negotiates temporary access, installs a complete Halloween experience, operates through the peak season, and then disappears. The store may be temporary. The system behind it works all year. Vacant stores are usually considered evidence of weakness. For Spirit Halloween, they are part of the supply chain. When a department store, pharmacy, craft chain, or big box retailer leaves a location, it creates something Spirit needs: visible space, parking, existing utilities, and a landlord with an empty building. Temporary leases are not automatically cheap or risk-free. Locations must be found, negotiated, staffed, stocked, and opened on a tight schedule. But the model reduces long-term commitments. Costs are concentrated around the period when demand is strongest. Party City had to make hundreds of stores productive through ordinary Tuesdays in February. Spirit Halloween needs its stores to be extraordinary during a short window in autumn. That is not merely seasonality. It is optionality. Spirit can adapt its footprint to the spaces available in a particular year instead of defending the same permanent network indefinitely. The temporary model also changes customer psychology. A Party City store felt permanent. If you did not shop today, it would probably still be there next week. Spirit Halloween arrives with a deadline built into the building. The store will vanish. Halloween is approaching. Popular costumes may sell out. The experience exists for only a limited time. That urgency encourages action. Spirit also turned shopping into entertainment. Large props, animatronics, themed displays, and interactive scares give families and teenagers a reason to visit even before they know what they want to purchase. The brand became a cultural signal. Its sudden appearance announces the beginning of Halloween season. Its habit of occupying failed stores became an internet joke. But the joke reinforces the business model. Every meme reminding people that Spirit can appear inside an abandoned retailer is also unpaid advertising for Spirit. Put the two companies side by side. Party City pursued frequency, more occasions, more months, permanent locations, and a wider inventory commitment. Spirit pursued concentration. One powerful season, temporary locations, seasonal labor, urgency, and an experience difficult to reproduce in an ordinary aisle. Party City's structure assumed that broad demand would justify continuous costs. Spirit's structure matches costs more closely to peak demand. This does not mean Spirit has no risk. The company is privately held, so detailed profitability figures are not publicly available. Weather, consumer tastes, competition, logistics, and a short selling window can all create pressure. But strategically, Spirit can treat an empty store as a temporary asset. Party City had to treat each permanent store as a continuing obligation. Party City did not collapse because Americans stopped celebrating. The spending moved. Some purchases went online, some moved to mass retailers, some remained seasonal. Customers still wanted balloons, costumes, decorations, and experiences, but they no longer needed one permanent specialist to provide all of them. Party City was built around availability. Spirit Halloween was built around timing, and timing created the stronger incentive. Landlords could monetize empty space. Seasonal employees could be hired for the peak. Customers felt urgency. Social media amplified the annual return, and Spirit avoided pretending that Halloween demand should support the same physical footprint in March. The model accepted a limitation and turned it into an advantage. But this story has one final twist. Party City. The brand did not vanish forever. After the liquidation, its intellectual property and related wholesale assets were sold to a new owner. The website returned, and by 2026, Party City products had moved inside more than 700 Staples stores across the United States. The old Party City tried to support hundreds of standalone stores all year. The revived brand now reaches customers by sharing space inside someone else's retail network. In other words, Party City returned only after abandoning the structure that helped destroy it. That does not prove the new strategy will succeed, but it reinforces the lesson. The winner is not always the company that serves the most occasions or owns the most stores. It is often the company whose costs match the moment customers want to buy. That is the hidden incentive behind this story. Companies rarely fail because of one obviously foolish decision. They fail when the structure that once created growth begins rewarding the wrong choices and becomes too expensive to change. Party City stayed open all year until its stores could not stay open at all. Spirit Halloween learned how to disappear, and that may be exactly why it keeps coming back. Subscribe to The Hidden Incentive for more stories about the decisions behind corporate collapse.